With the conclusion of Dawntrail, I was left with just a couple of questions, but I think I figured out Calyx. It's just a theory, but what if Calyx has the Echo? Not only that, but what if he captured an Ascian, extracted its knowledge, and killed it? The moment Geode gave us an explanation for how the soul system works in Alexandria, I was immediately reminded of the death of Moonbreeda. All the way back in patch 2.1, we were introduced to Elidibus, an Ascian emissary who gives us more insight on how the Echo actually works. Having it doesn't automatically let you see the Ascians. They still have to be perceived. The emissary hints to us about the shards of Aetheris and says that he believes that once the people with the Echo learn how to transcend like the Ascians, they would all become allies. Elidibus went on to educate a Sahagin priest, and the Beastman learned how to keep its soul together after death. It was even able to inhabit hosts, just like Ascians in Voidsent. Transcended, it was able to avoid the lifestream, maintain its identity post-death, and prevent the cycle of rebirth, making it essentially immortal. But then their consciousness and ether were absorbed by Leviathan, effectively killing the Sahagin. After witnessing this, Minfilia and Urianger have a revelation. The Ascians avoided the lifestream and escaped to another plane when their host died, but if they're captured in their ethereal form before they're transported, they could be trapped and its consciousness could be absorbed by a stronger being. They only needed a catalyst with enough power to eliminate the Ascian afterwards. And, well, Moonbreeda was the sacrifice. Now fast forward to Dawntrail, where we find a society that mass produces a device that can pull a soul from a corpse. And not only that, they can separate the soul from the memory, scan the knowledge, and reset the soul. Furthermore, the devices can be equipped on robots. Alexandria has the tools on hand to effectively kill Ascians at will. Because of this, my theory is that Calyx was also approached by an emissary, educated on other reflections, and urged to transcend. And he did. With that knowledge, he learned the weakness of the Ascians and worked to make transcendence a mechanical and repeatable process. First, he mastered extracting a soul with its memories and putting it into a sentry, Otis. Then Calyx learned to copy memories, which is why Endless Otis existed. Knowing he could move memories like, well, memory, he tested a theory. He effectively combined other people's memories of an individual to reimagine that person, creating Sentry's Alinea. Able to move and copy the memories, Calyx then began wiping a soul clean for reuse in the soul system. In a search for a way to preserve Alexandria, he created a weapon to use against the Ascians. And in doing so, he held the souls needed for a rejoining hostage in soul cells. When the soul system was created, Calyx immediately turned himself endless, but stored his intact soul separately as a failsafe. Should he fail his mission, he could theoretically upload everything he's learned to his soul directly, and then he could just escape and repeat the process, exactly like an Ascian. Once preservation had the key to interdimensional fusion, Calyx had leverage to negotiate with the Ascians and was granted enough time to save the Alexandrians of his choosing. Throughout the campaign, Calyx never explicitly states why he needs the key so badly. We assume he needs the energy to maintain the Endless, but we know he's already calculated what he needs. Besides, Endless Fiend's plan was a literal logical fallacy, and reports in the preservation labs clearly show that only some people were considered consequential enough to become Endless. When Wook-Lamont asks him why he didn't take the key from Endless Fiend, Calyx becomes embarrassed and admits that she overrode his authority when she became Queen Eternal. And since we already eliminated the vast majority of the Endless he was trying to preserve, he couldn't proceed to the next step. And what was that plan? Well, Calyx is nothing if not calculating and callous. Once enough Endless were preserved and his people were safe, he planned the most efficient catastrophe possible. While tapping into all the reflections at once, he would create a calamity that would ripple through every single shard simultaneously. It would appear as a mass sickness that would sweep across all reflections, like what happened to the Yakoi. Coincidentally, a report in the labs that have not been reopened since the loss of the key recount when a portal was briefly opened and caused a massive explosion inside. The illness and the subsequent explosion would occur at the same time on every shard and result in multiple calamities occurring at the same time on the source. At that scale, it would be total annihilation. When Calyx offers to save the people of the Ninth and the Source, he's offering to separate their souls from their memories and turn them into Endless so they can survive the rejoining. As Endless, they could live in the original Aetheris alongside the Ancients made whole. Also, Ever notice that Calyx is like an evil Alphino from A Realm Reborn?
Yet, therein lies an opportunity. Were we somehow to defeat Garuda, it would serve as a warning to the other beast tribes that even their mightiest gods can be felled.
I wonder if that's relevant. Anyway, that's just my theory. We'll see how completely wrong I am in the future. I'm Late to the Gamer. Hit that like button if you wanna. Hit that subscribe like you gotta. I'm almost at 5K subs, so help me out. And thank you for watching.